Indeed, and greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me here again in a moment of presence. Let's call it that. A moment of presence. Oh goodness, I had a adventurous day. A little bit of an adventurous day. I'm not complaining. We will not complain, but I may share with you what's going on, just so you can feel a little bit with me. In at 22 noise. Like I actually had 22 come to me a few times today already. We made it, brother Ryan. I just had to eat some more calls of nature, if you will. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately as if I, you know what? Let me backtrack a little bit for you. Basically, yesterday I made the final commitment that I'm starting a fast. From today on to at least next Sunday. At least that's the plan for now. And when I go into fasts, my mind, when I basically make the commitment, when I tell myself I'm going to fast, my mind, take that as an opportunity, a channel, a catalyst, to kind of lash out, if you will, and tells me that I'm craving all of these things, and I'm, you know, helping myself to the things I'm craving. I'm having a fair bit of sugar, Ugh, a really fair bit of sugar, some popcorn, and like a sandwich, just some random bits and bobs, and it was good, in the moment, of course. But I woke up this morning feeling pretty poorly. My body made it its mission to let me know that what I've done is utmost disrespect to my body, and my body is now going to get rid of everything that I've put into it violently, so violently. Oh goodness! And I'm like, okay, I guess this is the way it is. I basically, like commit to it, if you will. I surrender to the discomfort, going back and forth. I sit down. I decided I need to actually, start printing out this little, not little, like 300 page. I don't know exactly know how I'm supposed to, what I'm supposed to call it. A booklet, information that has some lines so you can put your own information in. I don't know. I don't know. Basically, teaching material for the classes I'm starting tomorrow. So I start printing it out, and I have this sense that I'm supposed to look at the printer, and all I see is this, it's like smudges, like streaking, like gibberish being printed out, and I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. And I see, okay, so at least not all of them, like maybe 10 pages or so, was just like gibberish, where the printer was printing kind of efficiently, and then because it was printing for so long, it started to just give me noise after a while. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like scroll down on the little page, see what page I was at, and then start again. I start again. I print like a few of them at a time. And there's like a sweet spot of between 30, I think. 30 is, I think, the sweet spot that I can print at a time. And then it'll actually turn out, relatively decent on the pages. And they're still like the pictures are still kind of wonky, but at least I can kind of see what the poses look like, so it should be fine. And I'm just like, I'm sitting with this. I'm sitting with this feeling, with this experience of, okay, something so simple like, you have one job, printer. You have one job, Mr. Printer. Can you not print, please? Anyway, no, I wasn't complaining about that at all. I was just thinking to myself, like, interesting, funny. uh Kind of, like I had my phone with me, and I had this feeling on 11 here, and wherever you are staying, and as a good wish. Thank you so much for that, Natalie. I appreciate it genuinely. Need some good wishes right now. And like I basically, I see my phone is, like on 20% or so, and we had load shedding this morning from 5 to 7, and that is the way that stage 2 load shedding is supposed to technically work. We have stage 2 load shedding right now, and it's supposed to like only have 2 hours of no power per day. And then they were like, oh, surprise. 2 more hours from 1 to 3:30 of no power, or like 1 to 3, maybe 3:15 or something, no power. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I wish I knew, because I could have switched my computer off and stuff. I could have stopped my printer. Like fortunately, it finished the job, which I was actually surprised by. But there was like just this half-printed piece of paper sticking out of the printer, and I was like, oh goodness, that is not going to cause some trouble. So I'm like, tripping out about what I'm supposed to do. I have to get my phones charged because I have a stream going. So I decide I'm gonna use the generator. Go outside, take my plugs, connect the plugs, start generator. Nothing. Nothing. Try the choke. No, nothing, nothing. Put the choke down again. It gets close. It gets so close, like dangerously close to actually working, but nothing. And like I stop for a bit, I catch my breath, like I'm sweating, it's so hot, and I start again. No, and like this while I'm going through this like bodily, I'm still feeling a little. You can probably see, like still feeling a little bit bodily heavy, and the drawstring snaps. First, technically, first the drawstring started disintegrating, where the outside seat of this drawstring, was like kind of like frilling up, and then those frills were getting caught in the little pull wheel. So I like pulled this drawstring out, kind of hooked it under my leg. I was cutting the little seat off of it, so there's only the middle part of the drawstring left. Got that done, got it unobstructed. Tried to boop, completely rip the drawstring off of the machine. I was like, oh, oh, and I, doing this as well, break the actual handle. Go to my brother's room to go and get some super glue to fix the handle again. I feel like he puts the super glue on the little exposed part. He puts it on. He presses them together, gives it to me, and I instinctively go to press it together as well. But this whole thing is like soaked in super glue, and now as a result my fingertips as well. And oh goodness, like I genuinely hate having super glue on my fingers. It's something that irks me to the bone, because I feel like there is a layer between me and my feeling sense. Anyway, and I'm like, my goodness, get the handle fixed, get a new drawstring in the machine, try to start it. It doesn't want to start anymore. And that is basically what this morning has been like. And I feel genuinely uncomfortable, like extremely so, like on an internal level, on an external level, so uncomfortable. And I was sharing a little bit of the experience I went through with our yoga friends today, and one of the friends mentioned something about presence. And it just instantly reminded me again of the Zen story of the only way you can truly be present is if you are on the tip of a spear. Literally the spear sticking out of the ground and you're on top of it. Because you're going to be in such visceral pain, such extreme discomfort that you will not have an option. You won't have a choice but to be present in that moment. And as soon as she said that, as soon as she mentioned that this discomfort that I might be going through today is one of a presence enlightening one, I feel like my want to complain about any of it instantly melted away as well, because I realized that even though all of these things are uncomfortable, none of them genuinely serve us. I feel very present. I feel very, very present. So maybe there's yet good, in the bad experiences as well. And the experiences we want to complain about, we would like to, manifest instead of complain. But there's now a new layer of awareness coming to me of being with instead of trying to manifest something that's differently. Like genuinely coming back to that zero expectation understanding, and how having no expectations of another being, of a situation, of opportunity, etc., etc., gives you more freedom to actually be yourself, to be the way that you would have been even if this thing wasn't something that could affect your life. Genuinely having no expectations. And I do have expectations, as we all do, but I want to have less expectations. You have available to you everything in all of creation. There we go. There it is. You have available to you everything in all of creation. So why expect anything? You have available to you everything in all of creation. Any perception is true as long as you choose to believe it. Fine, life, fine. I'm listening. I'm listening, life. I'm really listening. You know what? Maybe we'll do that today. Maybe I'll just listen. Maybe I won't say anything. Natalie, sorry, my friend. Let me read some of them. Some days I just want to send you all of my solar fairy lights. No, not the drawstring. It's okay, Natalie. It happens. It happens. Like there is few things that frustrate me as much as not having electricity does. And I feel that's kind of the joke. That's why I'm in this country. It's like, oh yes, I need to come and do these things in this lifetime. Let me come to this planet Earth. And then I'm like, wait a second, like there's gonna be all of this technology, all of this electricity, all of this interconnectivity. As I'm, growing up in this world, I'm always going to have access to everything. So let me put them in a country. Let me put myself in a country where, for extended periods of time, there just won't be any electricity. So again, that discomfort, instead of seeing it as something that is, something to be complained about, something that I need to be sad about or angry about, to see it as an opportunity to be present. And I know this as well, as in some ways. Like one of the things that I like doing when we don't have electricity is to go and sit under a tree and look at the branches. And that level of presence, I feel, might not be something that I always allow myself if I had ceaseless access to electricity. And that being said is one of the cases, but there's also this want for me to start using the lack of electricity as an opportunity to make things, to make art. And I've been trying to do that. I've set this intention as well to make art when we don't have electricity, but I still get in my own way. God damn it. I feel too somber. I was like, ugh. Mm. Thank you. I love you so much, friends. Since a young age, I have stated that you need tough, bad, frustrating times because otherwise you would never truly appreciate all the good things that are yet to happen. I feel that way as well, Natalie. That's amazing wisdom. It's just it's not wisdom we want to hear always. We're like, what? What? I have to be uncomfortable. I have to suffer. I have to get angry. Why? Why? Why do I have to? Because because you're all of it. We're gonna experience all of it. Devastating heartbreak, overwhelming love, unbelievable, discomfort, unfathomable joy. Just all of it. I'm trying to create words or think of words that are so far opposed to one another. But even those words, are so close to one another that it doesn't do it justice. I'm really listening to the birds today. I'm listening to them as if they're healers, like they're singing a healing song to me right now. Mm. Oof, the wave of memories that provoked. Oh goodness, like I'm definitely in that state of mind right now where I'm just going to be thinking about things. Thank you, friends, for thinking with me. Shannon, beloved friend, it's so nice to have you here. Oh, hey, Ryan, long time no see. Shannon, and anyone might comment after. Love yous. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Lisa's here with us as well, saying greeting, Estian, friends, sending you Healy. Yes, sending you Healy, healthy energy, Melt. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. I'm feeling it. I'm actually feeling better. Unironically, like I thought I was going to have to because I was like on a maybe 5 maybe 10 minute like schedule where my body is like, oh wait, dude, it's been 10 minutes. Guess you're going back to the bathroom. I'm like, please, body, please, dude, and it's like, nah, dude, nah, you whatever you did to us needs to be undone. And like I weighed myself this morning. I weighed in at 80.6 kilograms. And then after I went through this whole ordeal and before I did my yoga, I weighed myself again and I've lost 2.5 kilograms today. And I'm like, oh, 2.5 kilograms is just no longer attached to my body. And I've been drinking water alongside it. And I tell my mom about this, and she's like, "Oh, sounds like a vibe." Like 2.5 kilograms is like 5 pounds. I've lost 5 pounds just today, going through this, motion. And my mom is like, "Oh, that sounds pretty lit. I want to lose 5 pounds in a day." And I'm like, "No, you do not. You do not want what I'm having." On B, thank you joining me, friend. It's so nice to have you here, Bethany. Sending you so much love. I'm so emotional. My husband is explaining his perspective on how the Ukrainian president is preparing to die and making sure all of his affairs are in order. He will probably be a casualty in war, and I'm so sad now imagining his mind and his thought process. It can be saddening. Absolutely, Lisa. But instead of, living into that feeling of sadness, I want to live into the feeling of pride. I don't know if it is pride. Is it pride? Yeah, technically, I'm proud of this individual. Like, I feel he has been one of the most beautiful examples to the world of what a true leader is supposed to be. Like where they had these incentives, these initiatives to try and get him out of the country. And instead of, taking it, he's like, I don't need a lift, I need ammunition. He's in it with people. He's there right alongside the people that is fighting for his country. Because if he's not willing to fight for his own country, why would anybody else be? So it is. It absolutely is saddening, Lisa, but it's such an inspiration. It is such an inspiration to see what a true leader can actually do, can be for its people. Like if anything, that is the good I see coming off of this. I'm sorry, like ceaselessly sorry for what's happening in Ukraine right now. My heart goes out to them for what that's worth. The people. As one of the first speeches he gave, and he's like, who is this going to affect the most? The people, Ludi. Who doesn't want this? Ludi. Who can stop this? Ludi. The people. And he sees himself as the people. He sees himself as just one of the people, as we all are, a collective humanity. Russia is losing, by the way. Yeah, just on that note. You! Russia is having their ass handed to them. And they're having their ass handed to them in a way where it's kind of embarrassing. Like it's viscerally embarrassing. Like I would be ashamed to be a part of the Russian military looking at what's happening right now. They even the Ukrainian president signed a new law that basically stated that all of the tanks that they find, and they draw them or pull them to their warehouses, the farmers, they get to keep them. They get to keep literally hundreds, probably at this point, close to $1 billion worth of military equipment. So, I mean, that's also pretty funny to me. I'm just trying to see all of these positives. I'm trying to see all of these positives because there are so many negatives to see as well. We're not complaining. Agree. Not like that, mom. Not like that, mom. Exactly. I agree on showing himself as a true leader. Very inspirational. I do not want to see him become a martyr. I want to see him and his people live through this and on to another decade and give a comedy tour. I love that. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Like he actually has played in like movies as well. I think it was like a comedy sketch where they call him and he's like they answer him or they call like the UN calls him and they talk to him about bringing Ukrainian. Why can I not words right now? Bringing the Ukrainian country into the UN, and he's like viscerally excited about that. And then he tells them that he's from Ukraine, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we didn't mean to call you." Hey, love from Norway. Hey, handsome. Thank you for joining us, friend. Love to you from South Africa. Thank you for the heartwarming. Lisa, not Lisa. Eden, I appreciate it so much, my friend. Sending you positive vibes, Estian. I hope the rest of the day is better. I feel it will be. You know, I got to have a call with Christian. Christian is back in the country in South Africa. You know, he went to Bulgaria for a little bit and he was pretty much AFK for a week. And my messages weren't going through. And, you know, I realized that I'm that overly attached girlfriend. I love him so much. I'm so happy he's back. They plan on, you know, coming and seeing me at some point. But I'm not holding my breath up. Let me just say that. We're all so busy right now. I feel I feel like my body is hurt, you know, like on an inside level. You know, and I understand that 80% of my serotonin is being produced by my microbiome, and it feels like my microbiome is just got wrecked. You know, like whatever was alive in me got killed. And now because they're dead, they need to regrow. They do not have the means to produce as much serotonin as I usually might have. And it's a direct result of my own decisions. Surprise, surprise. The consequences of your own actions. Oh goodness. Farmers in France stripped and used old war tanks as plows. That makes me freaking laugh. That's amazing. Hopefully they don't do that in Ukraine. I don't know what they're supposed to do with it. Ideally, those things get melted down, turn into something useful. Dry historian, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice having you here. How's school going, friend? Mel, thank you for being so human. Thank you for being human with me, brother Bear. Like we're all just that. I'm just a human being. I'm just a human being. And I had this conversation with Christian. You know, I was like telling him about the stuff I was going through today as well. And he's like, yeah, sometimes you need a reminder that you're mortal, impermanent, fallible. I know infallible is a word, but I don't know if fallible is a word. And I'm feeling. I'm definitely feeling. I wouldn't say I'm feeling good, but I'm feeling. And that's what's important, right? That's literally what we talked about yesterday. Not so much about trying to feel a certain way, but trying to feel. Whatever that feeling might entail, just trying to feel it. Be present with it. I'm feeling some good things, you know, listening to the birds today. See a little puppy next to me, some nice clouds, the trees gently moving in the wind. Infinite good, infinite love, still all around us, no matter how we feel. Just eating grass and making puking sounds. Now's not the time. Meow to you, Servinia. So nice to have you here. Wife for life, dude. It's been a while. Ugh. Repurpose these memorial buildings would be nice, with the stories of the citizens that stood their ground and made soldiers call their mom to come get them. I've seen so many of those posts. Like it's actual kids. Like so many of the soldiers that find themselves in Ukraine right now are there on false pretenses. How's school going? I'm curious as well. Gold Spider, so nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for joining us. Good day, Haywire Hill friend. It's nice to have you here as well. Yep, on spring break, now catching up on what I'm behind on. What it's loss, but it's lots of stress. Like my brain literally feels like I'm running at like 10% capacity. Come on, serotonin. Serotonin, please. Please, microbiome, give me some serotonins, please. Please, 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 please. I'll be so appreciative. I promise. And then my microbiome is like, of course you're gonna be appreciative. Serotonin makes you be appreciative. I know. Serotonins, please. Please. Please and thank you. Thank you for all the serotonin I'm getting right now. Thank you. Yeah. Mm. Yep, on spring break, now catching up on what I'm behind on, but it's a lot less stressful for this week. I'm happy to hear that dry story, and I take antidepressants for that, man. Kim, I used to, and then I tried to them, so they didn't help. They did quite the contrary. They gave me night terrors and like these cold sweats where I would just wake up in a pool of my own sweat in the mornings. So I don't feel like that was the way to do it either. I know there's so much that I can do, like in natural levels. I believe with conscious attention to it as well, you can influence it. I believe you can influence it with, exposure to family members or animals. So like there are so many things that I know about that I should be doing and I've been trying to do. And because I'm doing a lot of those things, it helps me feel a lot better when it comes to that. If you've done all of those things and they still haven't helped, if you've started exercising, if you started eating better, if you started sleeping well, if you've started, spending some at least, 10 minutes at least in the sunlight, if you've like tried to spend some time outdoors looking at, plant life, if you've done all of those things and you still don't feel better, I feel the medication is absolutely, you know, a help to get you into a mindset where you can maybe implement new patterns. But I feel like I won't ever be able to go onto the medications themselves again. Hey, beautiful Candace, thank you for joining us, my beloved friend. Kim, we love you to bits. We love you so much, friend. Know that it'll get better. I believe it will get better for you as well. There is a point in the sky behind you that reminds me of several places that I've been and just looked at the sky. It is in fact the same sky that cycles past us all. Same sky, friends. Same sun, same planet Earth. I happen to be in a different part of it, but we're exactly the same. I have limbs, little arms that terminate into littler arms. I have the ability to feel. I have the ability to hear and see, to breathe and to smell, to taste the toothpaste. I'm not any different. None of us are. And if we can recognize that fact within each and every single one of us, then being horrible in whatever context you think horrible is becomes something that becomes very hard to justify. How do you justify being horrible to someone else when they're you? You can't. And yet, we're horrible to ourselves sometimes, huh? I think I was horrible to myself last night. I mean, horrible. I was shoveling sugar into my face. uh, technically, technically, if I was to be like, yes, I love this person, externalized. Yes, this person I love, and I want to take care of this person. I want to see this person thrive, be healthy, live for as long as possible. And then I just start feeding this person sugar. That wouldn't be love. And yet, I do it to myself. Damn it. Huh? Don't you love me? Please love me some more. And I do know, like I do know that moderation is the key, and that's technically where I faltered as well. But I feel like I'm doing it sometimes in this way of making myself so uncomfortable that I can be present. I can be present with the understanding that I'm not supposed to do that. Like, oh yes, I should eat less sugar. And then I go like a month without eating any sugar. And then I'm like, yeah, I know I should be eating less sugar, but I haven't eaten any sugar. So now I'm just going to gorge myself on some sugar. And then I do that. And then I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to be rolled around in a wheelchair. I have ice packs on my body, you know. Get a cat scan or something. Where I'm just like in an absolute, we have a word in Afrikaans, a toestand. But like I'm in a condition. Not a good condition, I'm just in a condition. And then it becomes this instant call to awareness, this call to presence of, okay, you've done things one way. You felt one way doing those things. Doing those things in that way served you, made you feel good, made you feel in the way that you want to be feeling. And then, upon breaking that pattern, upon showing yourself the opposite of that coin, you're like, oh no, the opposite of the coin. Oh, the consequences of my own actions. And in that way, I feel like I'm really grateful that I'm doing that to myself as well. Even though I learn these lessons, like every single time I learn these lessons the hard way. And we do that. We do that to ourselves. And we're doing it on a humanity level right now where, like if you think about just the Russian economy, they're basically making a next USSR where there is this absolute withdrawal from the rest of the world in everything, in products and services and in financial abundance when it comes to the stock markets. And the country is hurting for that. And it's, I believe, extremely uncomfortable. And we're seeing that discomfort within our own humanity, knowing that the people living in Russia aren't any different to us, aren't any different to you. And knowing that this discomfort is something that's now a part of our collective, consciousness, and how that discomfort is forcing us into this level of presence of this is not what we want. Doing things this way does not serve you. Stop. Stop doing that. And then we're like, yeah, maybe I'm going to stop doing that. And then we stop doing it for an extended period of time. And then we do it again. And then we get all of that same information that we already know it. Get all of that same information back. You learn that lesson the hard way again. And we're like, yeah, maybe, just maybe I shouldn't be learning this lesson over and over again in the same way. Mm. Melt's first ever stream from the wash. Don't even joke. Ninja Peach, like unironically, like for a second, I actually considered that I would have to. I was like, I'm going to lift my stream camera up as much as possible, so it like only has my torso and my forehead and the rest of the room in it, and I would just have to do it on the toilet. And I was like, dude, please, please no, we will not survive. You would have to bury yourself afterwards. Oh, thank you for like cheering me up a little bit, Eden. Right. I think I missed a bit. There we go. Spider, love you. Stay focused so you can knock it out and possibly even relax a little. I feel that's very necessary as well, my friend. Cold Spider says, hey, boop. I'm doing the best I can right now. I love this stream. I'm happy that you love this stream, Fred. Genuinely, I feel like I'm underperforming, The persona tries to be something, and I feel like my ego is like, oh yeah, all of these things that I want to be, all of this energy that I want to bring to the world, my persona isn't matching that projection completely, and then imposter syndrome wants to tune me. So the fact that you are here to in a positive way, I appreciate it so much, Spider. We love you as well, my friend. Exactly how my husband felt about it, Melt. He is honorable, absolutely so, Lisa. More so than I think we've ever seen any leader been in our humanity, in our consciousness. And like think about this as well. All of the previous wars that were fought under so much, I want to call it disconnection as well, because we didn't have access to we didn't have, like, unless we had newspapers or like magazines, we didn't have access to imagery from these horrible war zones, from the people that live there, from the understandings that those people go through, from the leaders. Now with social media being the way that it is, when I think about the Ukrainian president Vladimir, I think his name is as well. I can see his face. I can see what he stands for. He has this whole fractal of understanding in my mind when I think about him, and the understanding I have about him is, as you're saying, this one of honor, this one of absolute commitment to his country, this one of genuine presence. And we've never, literally never, had access to something like that previously in humanity, because how would we have? These things would have happened out there in the world. We could have had these honorable human beings, and instead of knowing about them, they would have just been their honorable selves and kind of went on with their lives. But now we have this means to share this honorable energy with one another. We have this means to actually see it, how it's influencing its people, how it's influencing us, how it's influencing me in this very moment, just thinking about what he's doing for his country. What Kim said. I think a hug could help. A long hug for the touch of another human could help, or someone anxious and physical touch. It could be real bad. I do enjoy hugs, Natalie. At least, I'll say that. I haven't, hugged someone in a while. I should probably. As a former comedic actor and leader of Ukraine, he couldn't he wouldn't be a casualty of war, but rather a primary target of it. However, while his loss would be while his loss would be great to the Ukrainian people, I think that's a little bit of a miss. Would be horrible to the Ukrainian people. Killing him would only make him a martyr, and I would put money on him being remembered as a hero at the end for whatever the outcome. I agree with that as well, my friend. Morning to you, Heather. Thank you for joining us. The mood feels deep. You are loved, friends. It is a little bit deeper than I intend for it to be. I feel like serotonin allows me to be very on the edge. And now, since that serotonin is a little bit drawn back, it's like that's how I'm feeling right now. Are you South African? Yes, I am, friend. I can just picture Ukrainian farmers with tanks and afro attachments going to the fields. It does make me a little bit happy. I'm not gonna lie. Instead of using these weapons of mass destruction to murder people, you use them to plant food for people. So that contrast is very beautiful in my mind. I know the internet has been closed for them pretty much, but I haven't seen Jester. Has anyone heard from him? I hope he's doing okay. I haven't seen from him in a while as well. You're right, right? I don't unfortunately don't have any access. You have some Heath Ledger vibes going on. Thank you, tacos. Yeah, apparently, apparently people say that. He was a gem stream this morning. He got back to Kiev last night. Okay, thank you for letting us know. I appreciate that, Slovenia. Thanks for letting me know. Genuinely, I missed that video call. Maybe the evening. He doesn't spring break. You look like a 40-year-old lesbian. Hmm. I'm trying to figure out why that's an insult. Is it an insult? What's wrong with being a 40-year-old lesbian? I mean, I would have a lot of experience, I guess. That would be a win. Thank you, Fred, for joining us, nonetheless. Kate! Kate, beloved sister, I've missed you so much. Thank you for joining us again. How are you doing? How are you feeling? He's silent right now, but he's well and doing amazing things. Thank you for letting us know. Genuinely, Aunt B. Silver, nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for the wholesome dextery. I think that's the way I'm supposed to say it. Definitely understand. He needs to be safe. Just want to make sure that that is the case, or as much as he can to be in a situation. Thank you, Dry, for sharing love, my friend. I have this fly. You probably saw it running on me, and initially I wanted to murder it, but you know what? I'll let that one live. Dude, please. Thank you. Oh, definitely. It's a good day. Happy to be here on Earth. What a wonderful, what a wonder, what a beauty. Thank you. Thank you, the anti troll. I really appreciate your love, friend. Thank you. Genuinely. Continue your anti trolling ways. I'm doing okay, friends. How are you doing? I'm doing okay as well. Thank you, Kate. I'm happy to hear you're here. I'm happy to hear you're doing okay, and it's happy to see you again. Talking about people, I'm happy to see you. Pona Mama. So nice to have you here, friend. You have brought a delightful smile to my face, and I dearly hope that your body kicks into serotonin production soon. I'm gonna be fasting, so even if I don't get more serotonin, I'm going to be running on ketones, and my brain really likes ketones, so I'm gonna be okay. You're gonna see, friends. We're gonna go through the whole spectrum again. I'm looking forward to this fast. Thanks. Thanks. Hopefully they'll get melted down and turn into something useful. Melt with a dash of spice. Yeah. Yeah, melt the tanks. Melt the tanks into something useful. What would be something useful though? Like I feel like I was a little bit of a cop out to say just something useful. What would we want to turn the tanks into? Infrastructure, beams, to build buildings with. Maybe that would be a good one. I love the flyer he made. I know it's been hurt down in his apartment, rounding up useful materials, just waiting for his time to set out on a mission. Thank you for letting us know, Aunt P. Genuinely. Are you in Australia? Silver? Like you've been in this space like so many times, friend. I am in South Africa. Mhm. By the end of the year, Ukrainians will be driving stolen Russian tanks to take their kids to school, and we think we have it bad with the SUVs that can't drive properly. Not just that, but I don't think it's very fuel efficient to be driving tanks around. I don't know if that's a popular opinion, but ideally, we'll transition to EVs as fast as possible. Interestingly enough, there are a bunch of big names, big players in the oil industry absolutely shitting bricks right now, like losing their minds about people, the general consensus, the mindset shifting to, you know what? We should have electric vehicles. We already have the infrastructure for electricity, and sustainability isn't unachievable. Quite the contrary. It's very, very achievable. We have so much surface area getting blasted by so much energy constantly. Thank you, Papa Sun, for all of the energy you're sending. Like, why would you try and pull that out of the ground? Spend millions in extraction costs and machinery and employees when we can just build renewable, solar panel farms. And I know it's more difficult to have something sustainable or constant when it's sunlight because it's only 50% of the day that receives sunlight. Yeah, sure. And batteries also require mining. It's all it's all it's all contrived. It'll get better. I do believe that at least. No more fuel. We don't need it anymore. Serotonin rush. Little bit silver. Good morning, Mrs. Boop. Hope all is well on the farm. It's freezing here in Georgia. What is the temperature, Panama? If you're willing to tell us, thank you for the love, my friend. I do hope there are many out there who can sell those tanks and build a better life, or even a community that they've had previously. I feel that as well. Maybe that would be the best way. The thing is, like Jovan, excuse me, upon thinking that, my mind goes to who are those tanks being sold to, and what are those tanks going to be used for? Because a tank is kind of like a one-purpose object, right? I guess it's not efficient to drive your kids to school in tanks. You know what? I'm not even gonna think about it. I was horrible to my liver. Sometimes we do that, Calvin. Sometimes we do that, and then our liver lets us know, dude. Like, oh yeah, oh yeah, you're gonna treat me poorly? No, your liver just like takes out a belt, starts smacking you around, dude. Like I feel like I'm being smacked around. I didn't even drink. I did think about it. Interestingly enough, last night I was like, do I want to drink? And then I know, opted out. Feeling, feeling is what's valuable. Not feeling a specific way. Feeling, yes, yes, I'm viscerally feeling. Oh, yes, serotonins, please, please and thank yous. Oh, I'm so thankful for that beautiful tree. So, by the way, serotonin helps you be thankful for things on a very visceral level. If you have more serotonin in your brain, you're more likely to be grateful. But I believe if you can do the opposite as well. I'm grateful for that tree. Gorgeous. I'm grateful for those gooses. I'm grateful for the beautifully textured clouds. I'm grateful for my peppy long stockings. I'm grateful for my cat. I'm grateful for the sip of water I'm taking. I'm grateful for my body. I'm grateful for breath. I'm grateful to be seeing. I'm grateful to be hearing. I'm grateful to be feeling, no matter what that feeling might be. Here we go. Headache went away. That's better. Be careful. Having had hepatitis before, I can tell you that ain't fun. Mm. I believe your liver is something that gets affected by hepatitis. I'm not sure if it's like an A or B thing, but I wonder what that does. I wonder if it's like something that poisons your blood and then your liver is just trying to catch up, trying to fix it or something. Me, every time I have a drink, I'm never touching alcohol again. And drinking is fun. Like the last time I was really drinking was when I was with Christian in December. And Christian and me really enjoy each other's company, and we can have conversations. So no matter what it is we do, we have a good time doing it. And like Christian is Bulgarian, and Bulgaria has one of the highest alcohol consumption rates in the world. His dad is also very much a enjoyer of alcohol, let's say so. And like I enjoy it as well. Like in the moment, it's something that genuinely can be enjoyable. It makes you feel a little bit lighter, makes you feel a little bit less concerned, makes you a little bit gooey. But then as soon as your body tries to, catch up, the smell, that alcohol smell, mm, like my body just thinking about it is like, please, please no, please don't even think about it. Why am I getting goosebumps? Please don't even do it. Oh goodness, it's freaking Jacob. Thank you for joining us, Isaac. It's so nice to have you here, my friend. Good morning, everyone. I slept in hard. Sorry for not being at the yoga. I was really looking forward to it. My body just said I should sleep hard. No, my brother Bear. You do that, friend. You do that. I feel like I need some more sleep as well. I also didn't sleep like enough. I didn't even know why. I just woke up by myself. I'm tired, dude. My body, my mind, my psyche, my willpower. I'm pretty tired as well. But I'm feeling nonetheless. No matter how tired I am, it doesn't make me feel any less. Yeah. Yeah. Like if we have all of this capacity to feel stuff, that capacity never goes away. It might shift, but it never goes away. It instantly makes me think of synesthesia when I talk about that as well. Do you feel less when your senses are being molded together, or do you feel more? Synesthesia basically means when one or, well, two or more senses become wired together. So upon looking at a color, I could hear a tone, for example, different tones representing different colors, or I could taste something looking at a certain color, or I could smell something looking at a certain color. And that is what synesthesia is. Like, I think the only synesthesia I have is being able to taste music. And it was something that was so, comical. Like, me and my friend would, like, have these opinions, like, oh, yes, this drop is tasty, this drop is not tasty, like this, variation of music is not exactly up to my liking. You have good taste, na 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 na. So, but it's not necessarily a physical taste like sweet or sour or something like that. It's just this feeling of satisfaction you can get from eating, and music can elicit that response as well. But then in that case, I'm hearing the music, which is one experience, one, channel of information. But then I also have this satiety taste feeling towards it in the moment, where I'll have music saved on my phone, and then I'll listen to it, in a different state of mind, and I'll be like, what the hell is this? Why is this saved on my phone? Why? I don't want to listen to this. And then, I like maybe skip through it, and I'll find like maybe one beat line that was really resonating. And I realized in that moment as well, our tastes change, our senses change, but we still feel. Even though we might feel differently about the exact same thing, we still feel from that. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Maybe that's what makes feeling, such a divine thing. It's the fact that we don't feel the same way over and over again. We feel over and over again. Like I really think that's the point. The more I think about it, hippo, po, hip hippopotamus. It looks like a gorgeous day where you are. It is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. Like there's no clouds above me, and I've been, like staring out into the distance at those clouds this whole time. Oops, my tripod legs broke off. Like that's beautiful, and I'm trying to be present with that as much as I can. So I keep looking over. Para pa 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 para para. It's freezing here. I'm about to freeze to death. Please stay warm, Lisa. You deserve to, my friend. Discomfort can be such a push to something that serves us. My job gives me a lot of back pain. In that moment of discomfort, I'm pushed to do yoga and stretching. Oh, brother babe, it makes me so happy to hear that. Like I want to see you get stronger, man. Like just I'm thinking about that as well. These inflection or reversing of like back postures, because we can be very pulled into ourselves. So we need to try and expand ourselves as much as possible. And like back pain, dude, back pain is something that's no joke. So seeing you, going through this process of wanting to become stronger, wanting to do yoga and stretch, so that you can serve yourself better, so you can feel better, it makes me happy. Thank you, brother Bay, for sharing it. That discomfort can growth. Like maybe that's what I'm struggling with today. I feel like I'm trying to ask where I'm supposed to be growing. And I think the answer that I found in asking that question is that I'm supposed to grow in my ability to be okay feeling whatever it is I'm feeling. To not have any expectations to what I'm supposed to be feeling or how I want to feel. Specifically, how I want to feel. The I want to feel this way versus I need to feel this way type of mindset as well. Please, please consider joining us and supporting Mel as he continues to show up for us as himself daily. Thank you so much, Aunt B, for tagging wood to this fire that we're burning here together. You can do so for as little as $1. There's no expectation though. I feel, like I don't even want to ask today, especially not in this mindset. I appreciate you, friends, so much. Talking about people I appreciate, we have the fireman himself. Thank you for joining us, Brother Bay. I'm I'm having a bit of a hard time. It's just a little bit, I'm tired, my body is wrecked, and I'm trying to contain some discomfort that's building in my body. But I feel I'll have to release as well. My mind just feels like it's so heavy, and I feel like we did what we had to do. We showed up, we shared the understanding that can come from that. And I'm so appreciative of you friends for being here with me for as long as you were, especially with me feeling like I'm being a downer. That's the last thing that I want. Damn it, I don't want to be a downer. I don't want anybody to feel the way that I do. But maybe and just knowing that those feelings are possible within, the opposite of it as well can be helpful. Wow, beautiful. Look at that gorgeous cloud formation. It's just like this. Like it looks to me, kind of gives me this feeling of like these clouds building up behind the mountain and absolutely like oozing over the mountain top, and it's breathtaking. Mm, clouds. Humans have looked at clouds for as long as we've been humans, and they've been fascinated by the beauty of them for as long as they even knew that beauty was something to be fascinated by. Oh goodness, it's so beautiful. I used to have these fantasies as a kid that I would be able to fly up into the clouds and just rest in them, away from everything else. That cloud makes me think of that again. It looks so soft and yet so distinguished, tangible. Man, I'm tripping out looking at those clouds. They're so gorgeous. Whew. Beauty everywhere, friends. Beauty everywhere, no matter how we feel. Beauty everywhere. Yeah, sitting a lot, coupled with the rough positions of doing hair, combined for a real sore lower back. Getting better every day. Thank you, Brother Bay, for taking care of yourself. A long time. It has been a long time, Mr. Fireman. How have you been, friend? How's life been treating you? That really hit me. And procrastination is the leading cause of anxiety. Did I miss something? The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. I think I missed that one. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Ooh, that's a big yikes. Reddit is ass today. Reddit seems to be a little bit spicy right now. I think it will get better there. Love y'all here, heading out. Thank you for joining us. So much of fun. Sending you so much love. Reminds me of your other stream. Getting better at feeling is the goal, no matter what feeling that is. Unfortunately, the depth of how the feeling connects to your soul can give you so much comfort. You're so right, Brother Bay. That's what I'm focusing on right now as well. Like I'm trying to actively take my awareness from this, oh, I feel this way, to, oh, I feel. And looking at those clouds, like I usually have thoughts about it. I usually, get responses elicited, but now I'm like, yeah, sure, all of these things, but yes, see, I'm feeling right now. Alexandre, tips hat for you, friend. I'm tired right now, dude. I'm so tired. I'm almost finished with the stream for today. Thank you for joining us, at the tail end of it. Can't be all the time, need balance sometimes. Can't appreciate the sun without the rain. You're right. You're completely right, my friend. And I'm just being reminded of that in a very visceral and real way as well. Maybe they're hacking, like the news says. I wouldn't be surprised. No mud, no lotus. I've got that one. Oh yeah, No Mud, No Lotus is a book you can read as well. Also with Zen understanding. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. You can really do. It's life changing. Last night, I sat out and watched a snowstorm while smoking a bunch. I came inside and my mind was so meditative. It had an entire eternal dialogue about my views on religion and spirituality. I was able to really find my path and I felt beautiful. You are beautiful, Brother Bay. Goodness. Hearing stuff like that, having been in that state of mind, so like I feel I can like render what you were going through and just knowing what that felt like for me, being able to sit with yourself in that meditative state and being able to think about things, rationalize things, and just feeling so beautifully into whatever it is you're feeling into. Dude, I love you so much, Isaac. Sounds like a beautiful experience. It does. It allowed me to look at all of the things in my life and heart and how it relates to the whole. A weird amount of clarity. You call it weird, I call it permanent. Like I genuinely believe we conceal so much from ourselves because, infinite clarity is jarring. Feeling it without judging it and letting it go. Seeing it as a cloud. Seeing it as a cloud. Sometimes we have these big, dark, thunderous clouds and it creates a certain response in us. Sometimes we have streaky little wispy clouds. Sometimes we have these big, beautiful, voluptuous clouds. Sometimes we have clear skies. Behind the clouds, there's always clear skies. There you go. There you go, Alexandre. The awareness of, Alexandre said, we are the sky. The awareness of, like if there was no sky, what would the clouds be contained in? What would the backdrop of the clouds be? Mm. Infinite beauty. Mm. So proud of you, friend. Level up achieved. We're just starting. Goodness, he's just going to keep leveling up. It was normally I thought rain. I thought train full of anxiety. Normally a thought train full of anxiety was calm and welcoming last night. It makes me so happy. I feel like I'm reaching a state of calm and welcoming with inside of myself. Like I feel like I might be falling asleep even. I'm in discomfort every day. Does that make me a present? You are a present, Panda. You're a present to all of us. Your presence is a gift that you've decided to give to all of us. Also remember, it's all tied together. Awareness of the mind leads to awareness of the body and the soul, and vice versa. There is no separation. You're completely right, Panda. We cannot separate ourselves from any of it. Cannot separate our cannot separate ourselves from the discomfort. All we can do is feel it. I really feel it. Thank you all. I know love is true, and I level up for the rest of time. Friends, we're going to keep leveling up every single time we I cannot speak words. My brain does not want to work properly. We cannot say love is true without eliciting a response from us. And if you can say love is true to yourself, no matter what it is you're going through, like this extreme discomfort that I'm going through right now, I say love is true for myself in this context of my body is trying to take care of myself, right? It's trying to take care of my internal well-being and it's going through this process of purging because it loves me, because it wants to, see me thrive. So even in this discomfort, love is true. And if you can start training yourself to kind of make yourself aware of that fact within normal situations that can potentially be discomforting, uncomfortable, then you can grow from them. You can be present with them, genuinely present with them. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, friend. Thank you for being here with me to experience what it is we're doing as a collective. I'm not doing it alone. Very much not so. I don't think I can. And she is joining us. I know we have our own unique experiences. I feel like I was going through what you've been talking about while I recognize it can be hard. It can be hard. You're so right. To choose love, to try and see love in something that's so uncomfortable, it's almost impossible. But it's not because you're powerful. Like, really powerful. Maybe some rest is due. Thank you for being so committed to showing up. Thank you, friends, for receiving me in my journey to show up every single day. I appreciate you, friends, so much. I do think I'm going to end the stream for today. We did it, friends. Come hell or high water, we did it. We showed up for ourselves, for one another, and just that, just that is something that I'm going to take with me right now. I appreciate you, friends. I love you, friends. Panda says, I found my level of emotional discomfort decreased greatly when I quit watching mainstream news. Mine did as well, friend. Mainstream news is not something that serves us because they basically function, thrive on clicks. You coming back to come and see more of it. That's how their business model works. So the thing that gets us clicking, the thing that gets us coming back over and over again is fear. So yeah, you're right, friend. Thank you for teaching us that as well. Can be a superpower to fill into it. It's quite melting to think about the discomfort while you're in that space of pattern of energy, in your energy of consciousness. Wizik, Brother Bear, thank you for sharing such beautiful words always. I love you, friends, genuinely. Even though I'm feeling like my body is under attack right now, in my mind I have such clarity and knowing and feeling that love is true, that I love you, I appreciate you, and I look forward, friends, to seeing you again tomorrow. Hey Todd, sorry for ending the stream just as you're commenting. Recognizing internal cognitive patterns and self-correcting them. I feel like I'm not growing fast enough. Maybe that's uncomfortable sometimes. Thank you, friend, for growing with me. I look forward to seeing you again.